Hello and welcome to Read Play Game, the podcast where we look at tabletop role-playing games from every side of the table. I'm Jessica, and I played Scour in the game that we played.
I'm Emma. I played Matt, and I had such a fantastic time gushing about goblins.
I'm Niche. I played Cog, and I love goblins.
Goblins!
Welcome to our interview with Viditya Voleti, the creator of Space Goblins, the delightful game that we just finished playing. We had a wonderful time playing the game, but we also had an incredible time just talking with him. It was a delightful little chat. You'll notice as you listen, we got kind of very sidetracked a lot of the time just gushing about goblins with him, because it seems that goblins have a very strong fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very much the vibe of like, look at my kindergarten kids picture of just us being like, here's what our goblins did. They're like, really good.
Halfway through the interview, I was like, hold on, y'all keep talking. I'm just gonna like pull up the pictures so I can send them in the chat.
And this is their first day of school.
Yeah, right. And we're not gonna let go of these goblins. We're gonna be beating that dead horse for a while. So anyway. Listen, I mean, you're going to have a great time listening to this one. You just will hear some really insightful stuff because, I didn't know this going in. He's also a professor. Like he teaches teaches game design and such with his games. And so he had a lot to say about the process. And I learned a lot from this.
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I had a great time. I laughed. I cried. I felt deep emotions throughout. This is a great interview.
We came, we conquered.
We did what?
Don't leave with that one.
Oh.
Try that again.
We had a great time.
You also didn't even say we saw. That's like the middle part.
Yeah.
We just came and we conquered.
Play the interview.
Those are kind of synonymous.
Play the clip.
All right.
Play the clip.
I always get nervous. I always mess this part up. All right.
You're going to do great.
Hello and welcome to Read Play Game, the podcast where we... wow, I totally just said I get nervous. I've never said I get nervous before, and then I completely screwed it up. Okay. Well,
we're in.
I'm just gonna keep going. It's the tabletop role playing. It's the podcast where we look at tabletop role playing games from every side of the table. Today we are joined by Viditya Voleti, creator of Space Goblins, the game we have just played. It is a pleasure to have you on here. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Goblins are very special to us. We play a goblin game every year. We started our group. Before we did the podcast, we just hung out and played with two other friends, all five of us, and we started with a goblin game. So we return to form once a year at least to keep them in our hearts.
Genuinely so lovely. Like, immediate kinship. I'm like, no, I get it. I feel it. I'm not playing enough goblin games, frankly. And so it's like just so nice to hear that. What goblin game did y'all start with?
We started with okay. We kind of had a journey.
Weird.
Have you heard of Weave?
Have I heard of Weave? Yes. I am pretty sure I have.
It was like a tarot base.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. And there were 3 versions of it. There was like a space cyberpunk vibe, another one, and then we played the goblin one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like 80% sure I know exactly what you're talking about. I picture something in my head. That's crazy. I did not know We've had a goblin version.
It truly does not exist anymore.
Yeah,
no support.
There's not support on like the technical side because it was based entirely out of an app, and they kind of stopped doing that. But we got like a full campaign in it, and it was the Goblin one. And then last year on the podcast, we played Goblin Errands.
Yeah,
yeah.
Big fan of Goblin Errands.
Love it.
Really like it. Oh, that's great. Yeah, great games.
So I'll put that seed in your brain for when we ask for game recommendations at the end of if you happen to know more goblin games. We have to keep finding them because we need one every year. But no pressure because that is a very specific ask.
Don't worry. I got you.
All of that is to say that we had such a blast playing Space Goblins. It was not only like a return to form for us, but I think it captured that essence of like complete chaos that we love about goblins.
Shenaniganery. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to jump into our chat today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Starting it out, what got you into game design? And like, if you want to give a brief introduction and overview of your whole vibe with games.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll give a quick it will be an abridged little thing because what got me into games was I've always really loved games. I've always wanted to like work in games, basically. Like I've always wanted to make them. So I like, even like back in high school, in middle school and all this stuff, like just throughout grade school, I'd always be making small little games and playing a bunch of games, and then I'd like keep making them. And then I wanted to, when I went to college, I went to an art school and I wanted to do like illustration for games. But then I found out but then I tried just taking their like game design class, like their intro to game design class for the game design major. And I was like, oh, I love this. And I just want to make them. Actually, that is the career that I want to do. And so I was like, grew up playing board games. Late in high school, I started playing role-playing games with like Pathfinder was kind of my main game. And then throughout college, I like learned to play, like learned game design, digital game design, tabletop game design. And then I ended up taking like a semester to a year off. And during that time, I gave myself kind of a little bit of a challenge of like, I want to make a role-playing game, like, or I want to like actually like really make a role-playing game, publish some stuff. Cause I went to school in Baltimore. I went to MICA, the Maryland Institute College of Art, and there is. Are we aware of MICA? I don't know. Yeah.
We have a Maryland background. Some of us.
I'm from Maryland, and I have a good amount of friends that went there.
Cool. But yeah, so like there was like really nice RPG communities there, and so during my semester off, I was like, I want to try and make some games because there's a good community here for it, and I fell in love with it. I made some stuff. My thesis was a role-playing game, and right after graduation, I and then I got really into the greater role-playing game scene, like mostly on Twitter. Like there was a kind of a 2019, 2018 boom in like indie RPGs. Post like the G Plus forums closing, and a bunch of people were trying to, this is all RPG, I guess, history and whatever. And then that's when like kind of, I guess, who I am now, I suppose you could say, like as like a game design professional, both as like a freelancer and making my own stuff and publishing things and so on and so forth, started. And actually, I mean, like, and the timeline really goes up to like Space Goblins was like a major point for me as a game designer, because it started as a game jam with just like run by some people in communities that I ran in, and then it became like my first crowdfunding campaign and my first attempt at making like a physical game. And so yeah, like that's kind of the rundown. I really ran through the
that's
timeline.
Fantastic. Can you talk some more about Space Goblins specifically and like working in that game jam? Because that's like what did the timeline look like for that and creating it?
If I remember correctly, I think it was a 2-week game jam. I feel like it was a pretty relatively quick turnaround for an RPG game jam. It was for a system called Tunnel Goons, made by Nate Tremay. I really love Tunnel Goons as a system. I think it is so simple and slick. Like, I'm a big fan. It's like almost nothing in kind of like the best way, where it's like it's almost nothing, but it has just such a core system that I was like, yay. And the idea of like Tunnel Goons, and you're kind of like just guys hanging out, like the vibe of that jam and the vibe of the game is like, what are your like games where you're just guys, like real nothings. You're not really heroes. You're not really like grim. It's also not grimdark or like gritty, right? It's not. So it's like, this is really fun. It's really cute. So Goblins came to mind very quickly for me. And then I can't remember why I went Space Goblins specifically, why I went space, but I must have just been, I like space a lot. So I just put them in space.
At what point did Legos get
And
involved
then-
in the design?
That question. Because I kind of a while ago found well, I always have the original doc for Space Goblins, but then I went through like the revision history, and there was like some really interesting changes that I didn't know. And Legos came a little late. Like I had like the whole setup for it where I was like, this is what I want to make. And then the jam was ending in like 2-3 days when I like finally sat down to try and figure it out. And I started writing everything up, and I very specifically remember like the game jam was ending the day, like that day, and I was like quickly trying to fill up tables and finish it up. And I think the original version did not have Legos. So when I posted it to the jam, it didn't have Legos. But I like finished the game. Like I submitted the game to the jam. It's about goblins in space, and you're kind of running around and you're having fun. Like all of the tables and all the like crashing into ships and stuff was there, but it was just like tokens.
Sure.
And then I think once I had like a breather, I started to really think about like, well, what do I want to do with this game? Like, I really like it. And there's like the playfulness of it. Very specifically, the thought process behind it was I was thinking a lot about like table presence and kind of like fiddly bits. Like a role-playing game is something that you play at a table, and then like how do you fiddle at the table? Like what I wanted to make games that had a table presence, had physicality to it. And my immediate thought was like, well, there's like dice stacking and there's all this other nonsense, but I thought like doing something with the tokens or just having the tokens be playful fits with the theme of the game, and also kind of gets me to think about this interactivity, this presence on the table. And then also I during that time was thinking a lot about like, I think I called it like artification, or like you make an artifact of play. So similarly, like what is the artifact of play of playing Space Goblins? And it's like this little Lego spaceship that you all made together. So I think like Legos became something that I naturally, I think at some point just was like, okay, what if these were Legos? Like you don't change anything about them other than the fact that you put Legos on a table.
Yeah.
Right. And then people will naturally want to build with it. People will naturally want to make stuff with it. And that was kind of the moment.
That's really fun. I like that a lot.
It's also, well, I was going to say back to the space thing. It's also kind of really convenient that your game was set in space, because we actually, like, one of our main characters in our original campaign was a goblin that had like
NPCs.
NPCs had come back from the moon, who like had joined the group for the main part of it. So we were like, wait a minute.
It all comes together.
Kismet, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Goblins being in space also is just really fun. I think now that I think about it, there's two things that probably really actually influence the fact that they're in space. One, I really like Pathfinder goblins, and I think Starfinder was maybe happening around then, and I'm like, oh, this is cute, like Pathfinder goblins in space. And then also there's a game called Void Bastards, like a video game. Cool. It's like a roguelike. It's heavily stylistic. It's really fun. It's like a first-person shooter, but it looks like a comic book. Like the whole aesthetic of it is that if you ever just look at a screenshot, it just looks like a 2D comic book panel.
Cool.
It's beautiful. It's really cool, and it's like really hectic. And I think that I was also playing a lot of that, so I think that was a huge inspiration, like a stylistic inspiration. For a while, I was like, well, like Space Goblins is kind of roguelike-y, like in its like you're going from encounter to encounter, and then you kind of reach your goal or you die, quote unquote die or whatever, and then like you could just play again. And so I think that's also where like a lot of that space inspiration came from, was this very specific video game that I was playing.
Cool.
The general loop of it also, I think I said this when we were recording, but it reminded me a lot of what's the game that we said it Lethal Company. I don't know if you played Lethal Company.
Yes.
Like just that kind of core loop of it.
It's actually very Lethal Company. Now that I think about it,
but it came way before.
I had not thought about that connection, but that's really funny.
Mostly because like the kind of way we were yelling at each other was the exact same experience I'd had playing Lethal Company. I was like, this is so familiar.
100%. Now I'm thinking back at my Lethal Company plays, and it's like you just got junk in your hand, and you're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You do say in the rule book, you note that Space Goblins pairs really well with other RPGs, and like talking about it being that kind of roguelike experience. Can you share what system you would either like to see it pair with, or that you have successfully paired with it before? Like, have you plugged Space Goblins into another like long form campaign?
I've done it once. So that statement is a little aspirational and a little bit, I think that I kind of just
like,
did
it's gotta
one.
be true. Yeah,
it's gotta be true. So there's two things about it. Well, so the one time I did it was my senior thesis in another game of mine, Space Between Stars. I was designing it kind of around the same time, or like relatively close to each other. So I was playing a game of that, like I was testing it and playing that, which takes place in space. It's a space opera, and we just played Space Goblins in that universe. Very simple. So it's like it didn't actually like shift its system, but we put it in that world, which was just really fun and wacky. And at no point when we were like world built the Space Between Stars game did we think that goblins are a part of it. So it was also just like really weird and wonky. Then there's also the thing about like Tunnel Goons is OSR-ish. Like it's like OSR or like NSR, if you want to call it like that. It's like within the vein of like dungeon crawlers. You can just, it's adventure focused. It's all that stuff, right? So a thing that I've always wanted to do, which I haven't had a chance to, is to just try like a classic adventure, like a Keep on the Borderlands, or some like Traveler is in space. So like just a Traveler adventure, but like you just play it with Space Goblins. Like you just completely fuck up whatever was supposed to be there, and just play it in with you are goblins running around trying to collect a bunch of stuff, and it's like you're running through all this dungeons, but like you don't care really about the monsters. And so that's kind of what I've always wanted to do, because technically speaking, like the system works with all of those, because there's a bunch of other Tunnel Goons games that have adventures. So like it is theoretically seamless.
That's fun. And I mean, we did apply, like, when something I've noticed with now playing three Goblin games is the transition between them is very easy. Like the tropes are there. It's really easy to translate characters over. Yeah. It's a great time to get set up and dive into a Goblin
There's some
game.
Universal.
I love that. I genuinely love knowing that that the Goblin mindset and the Goblin game pantheon is we're all running off of the same like fictional logic.
Yeah.
we love our little guys.
It was really nice in I can't remember exactly how he described it, but in Goblin Errands, just the way that Martin described goblins so lovingly, and so like because he got his love of goblins, he said, from a young age when he was playing Magic the Gathering, I think. And so like I don't know, it's nice. It's nice that there's such a loving through line in the RPG world.
I think he also mentioned Pathfinder goblins. Like I'm curious what your first connection to goblins was too.
I think like, gosh, that's such a good question. Like, what, because I do attribute it to Pathfinder, my like deep love for them, but I've definitely like known about them before. I mean, they're just like fantasy creatures. I think if I want to take a real shot in the dark with like exactly where this started, is I really like, this is real broad, but I really like playing like minion based classes in various games. Or like, here's a bunch of guys. I'm a big like, here's my bunch of guys, instead of like, here's my big guy or something. And goblins are just generally always that archetype, either as like, I'm a guy who summons a bunch of minions and your minions are goblins, or I am a horde of goblins. Like, I mean, Magic is a good example. Like, I love playing goblin decks. Like, they are just my favorite. You are just a bunch of goblins.
You just kind of throw each other at things.
It's so, I turn off my brain and I'm having such a good time. And then I think like when it comes to role playing, I really love goblins through Pathfinder. My very first role-playing game character, I played Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, and I was playing like a human. I was actually playing like a very stereotypical kind of protagonisty character. We in that party, kind of all of us were, so it was like fun and it was a little tongue in cheek. But like, I remember giving him like kind of a also kind of a stereotypical thing of like, he hates goblins because like his village was burned down in a goblin raid or something. And I had like a real moment with that character where I was like, okay, like this is like a character direction. Like I made that choice because it gives him something to like latch onto, like make him care about what he fights in some sense. And then there was like a moment where we were playing that campaign and we had the opportunity to go to like attack a goblin encampment. And I just remember my character being like, we have to go. Like I like, we can't let these things just ruin other people's lives. And we had like this whole thing where it was a whole encounter, and just me as a player had like a real moment of like, damn, this sucks. Like I am just like, I'm kind of slaughtering them. Like these are creatures. And like my GM also, like, good job, was like a kind of my GM like has a playful, fun look at goblins, but they're also like a little bit more like, yeah, like they can be evil and they're like this thing. So it's similar to how I like them, but different enough that like it was a fun, nuanced kind of moment of role play for me where I had my character realize like, oh shit, I'm doing what they did to me, like kind of. And then like since then, whenever I played role playing games, like I then, when we moved to Pathfinder, Pathfinder goblins are just so full of charm and chaos and fun. And whenever I would play a goblin character, I like enjoyed playing into the like, people see me as a monster, like, or as like stupid or whatever. And like, I just had a lot of fun with that. And just like a love of them really bloomed from me having some strange like role play switch of, wait, these are like beautiful creatures and they're real and they're just different and like, you know what I mean? It was a lot of fun. I'm like, oh, they're chaotic and exciting and different, and I just really enjoy them.
Yeah. Speaking of chaos, did you want to take it, Anish?
Yeah, I was curious about like the whole gameplay loop, because that was honestly our favorite part, especially the rotating referee mechanic. Like very rarely do we play games where we all kind of get to contribute that level of like exact sort of storytelling. And it was just kind of fun for all of us to get a chance, because usually we're playing GM-less games, but those are like,
we're all contributing at the same level.
We're all contributing. Yeah. Just curious about what your process was.
I really like GM-less games. Like I would say I'm primarily a GM-less designer. Like I like them a lot. And around that same time, like I mentioned Space Between Stars, I was designing. That's a GM-less game. And I was like really thinking about GM-less campaign games, because I feel like that doesn't really exist too much. At least back in like 2019, 2018. I like, it's evolved a lot more, but so like I was thinking a lot about GM-less games. But Space Goblins, I was like, I want to make it GM-less, but Tunnel Goons is such a GM system. So it was a little bit of a way for me to think, like find a loop around for that, where I was like, okay, like you rotate GMs, like you one person gets to be the GM for a little bit. And then also there's like the Space Goblins is pretty explicitly like all ages. Like I wanted to make something that you can kind of play with a bunch of different people, pretty approachable for kids and also adults, and like you can kind of choose tonally where you want it to be. So like I did like the rotating GM also gives it a good opportunity for people who of all ages also, but just like for people who wanted to try GMing. I'm like, this is such a simple system that you can kind of just GM for one ship.
Yeah.
Feel like, hey, I really like that actually, or go, I did not really care for that. And then the game can continue and you never need to worry about like, oh, did that suck? And like, it's like, no, it's okay.
And I will say in our group, 4 of us, the 3 of us that you're talking to now, and then Margot, we're all kind of like longtime GMs and often like the de facto GM of in-person games. And then our co-host Tori has never GM'd before. And this was the first time that they were like trying that out. And we had that experience both of like, okay, this is huge, low stakes, high fun, you get to try it. And then also so fun to be able to, because like we all really like GMing. We also really do enjoy GM-less games.
Yeah.
So like having the taste of like everybody's style in one story is so
my
fun
favorite part
to do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like because like then like each ship kind of can shift genre, shift tone, can really. I'm actually really glad to hear that, because I think from my own experience playing this game, I don't know if I've like had a bunch of GMs play this game like with me, like as a part of the table. So it's fun to like hear that. I'm actually really happy to hear that like everybody got their own flavor into it. Which is great.
It was 4 GMs,
and
1 player.
It like kept us all guessing. Yeah. Yeah, kept us all guessing as to what, like, people took stuff in crazy directions. We do just, if you listen to the episode, our home game was our first time for a lot of us, not you, Anish, but for a lot of us playing a long-term campaign. So we did a lot of the kind of classic debauchery that goes on, and then we kind of returned to form.
It was a real return to form. Let's just say this: we felt very comfortable in the system, and we let that expression go wild.
We
got a little silly.
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of a Goblin game, right? Is that often it's like, hey, just fucking do it, you know? It's a real excuse to be like, forget norms, right? Like what would be like what would be like now, maybe if you are really thinking about it, like, oh, we should not have been doing all that or whatever, you know, where it's like there's maybe something about like a bunch of like humans running around or whatever, but like goblins just being like, fuck it.
Exactly.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Sometimes we'll play games, we'll be like, all right guys, this is a serious one, we're gonna try, like we make a lot of jokes, they're the clips that go viral online, but like we gotta kind of rein it in here, like we've got to be very serious in tone, and then when we do a goblin game, it's like we're coming home.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's so fun. Something that has changed since that original game, we played that original game in person, and it was really fun for us to experience that. But since then, we've been kind of spread apart. So we played this game online, and I'm really curious. We didn't get to really play with the Lego aspect, unfortunately. Devastating. Emma drew a very good Lego ship that we were just filling in along the way.
Okay.
But I'm curious if you had any recommendations for capturing the same vibe in a virtual space.
I like the sad thing is I really wish I had like a good recommendation for it. Currently, it's like drawing, I think, is still fun. Like a shared whiteboard can still like have that sense of fun, like just being okay with like, I'm adding like this little thing and that little thing, but then like feeling like, but then not feeling precious about it in the same way that you do with Legos, where it's like, oh, we had to spend all this junk or we took a hit, so like I guess this chunk of our spaceship got destroyed, so you like erase it or you clean it out. But I know it doesn't feel exactly the same, and I really wish I could like figure out a good digital version of it, because this game was designed like, I mean, like pre-pandemic is kind of the real touchstone there, where it's like, you know, once that hit and we all like as RPG designers are like, these games need to be accessible to play online, and there are some games that are like designed for physicality, and like some designers are like, there's just no real way to play this experience without it being on a table, and other designers are like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like there are, I think, maybe 2 or 3 like Jenga tower alternatives, like whether it's a physics-based like simulation of a Jenga tower or like a reflex probability based thing or just like rolling dice. Like they're all really wonky, and I commend everybody for trying to figure out a way to let that happen.
Trying to play Dread on a physics engine online.
Oh,
10 times scarier.
Horrifying. 10 times scarier for sure. I regularly play games of like Tabletop Simulator because I'm like a board game freak. I love them so much. And for fun, my friends and I will load up the Jenga tower and just try, and it never works. It's absolutely insane. And I think about games that are like, it's tension, it's like slow and methodical, and I'm like Fallout Bethesda game style clipping through everything as I slowly push a block, you know? Horrible. So like I really wish there was like, I mean, potentially there's something like you play in a game in a system like Tabletop Simulator, but that costs money and like that requires like, you know, it's not really accessible where it's like you can start building things in some sort of 3D playground. There is a world, hold on, now I'm saying this out loud, playing a Minecraft server.
We joked about that.
We did?
Good.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
We were, Anisha and I were brainstorming like the coloring sheet, and Anisha was like, we could do Minecraft, and I was like, I get migraines. I can't do it.
But yeah, right?
I can't do it.
That would be kind of crazy, like having the chat too, and just kind of
Wait a second.
I'm thinking about this.
There's a weird, yeah. There's like a Let's Play AP kind of Space Goblins in Minecraft.
Yeah,
let's explore the actual play space.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole genre. We could fuse them.
Yeah, you got this.
Usually.
Honestly, I'd love to see that. I think, like, screw a bunch of like these, like, oh, it's like, what is it, like Tailspire or something, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, it's like
virtual tabletop.
Virtual tabletops. No, we're playing RPGs we're doing like Hamlet in Minecraft. You know what I mean?
It feels very warrior cats on the playground. Like all the friends get in Minecraft and play.
You joke, but I was going so insane during the pandemic that I built a
Cat
scale.
Cafe, right?
No, well, that was the first thing I built, but I built a 2-scale globe theater with the intention of doing theater in Minecraft. I was going insane.
Oh, I wish. I'm a little sad that that's not the future we're in right now.
I have videos.
There is still time.
There's still time.
That's so great. That's so funny. Okay, so I'm locking it in. That's my official answer. If you want to play Space Goblins accurately, digitally, support Mojang Minecraft.
I'm glad we figured this out.
On the Xbox store.
we finalized it.
Oh, goodness.
Or Roblox, I suppose, but that's different.
No.
I guess on that subject, though, our next questions are about the art too. So that's kind of wanted to ask about what your collaboration with the illustrator looks like for the art, because it's very cute.
So fun,
it's
so
charming.
expressive. Yes.
Glow One is the illustrator. Glow was a friend of mine in college. Like that was also a fun thing of like I went to an art school. I have so many art friends. I have so many illustrator friends, and Glow was also somebody who was like a classmate of mine. We made games together, or we were in class together. We would make games adjacent, and we were friends. And it was just like, I was like, okay, I've known their art before, like for a long time. It's this very playful, round, really fun style. And so it was really like kind of a no-brainer for me, especially in that time where I'm like, okay, cool. Like I want to make this. And it went from, so the initial, I might still have it somewhere. I might even just like email y'all with it. There's an original artwork which was for the jam before I kickstarted the game, which is when Glow's art came in, which is like an MS Paint like style drawing that was Space Goblins that I had put up. And I was like, this is fun, like, and it feels correct. Yeah. But then when I decided to kickstart the game for like Theme Quest 2 or something, I was like, okay, well, like I need a cover artist, I need some art. I'm gonna ask my friend Glow. And then also there's like Glow's like close to me. Like we went to college and all this stuff together. So it was also kind of like I wanted to keep this game because it was like my first real attempt at kickstarting. Like keep it close. Like I wanted to support some friends. I kind of I wanted to support friends and keep it kind of indie and small. And working with Glow was great. I mean, Glow straight up was like, here's some ideas. I love this. I gave very little direction, to be honest. I gave like they read the game. I gave a few things where I was like, I want a few Space Goblins. Kind of think Saturday morning cartoon was like the big thing.
Oh yeah.
I did black and white because Zine Quest Kickstarter originally was black and white staple bound zines. Nobody does that ever at all. But for some reason I was like, no, I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to keep it that way. And then, so I said black and white. And the only other thing I asked was like, I want one spot art, which is like the goblins playing the game. So I could put it in like the setup. Cause I just think that's cute.
That is very cute.
And Glow was like, oh, absolutely. And like immediately sent me like thumbs and thumbnails and sketches for stuff. And it was like really quick and easy. And they also did the logo for the game, which I was able to utilize elsewhere. And so like, just, it was really fun to like find just to have a friend who I'm like, oh, your style is just perfect for this. Like there was no other thought in my brain.
Yeah. That's lucky.
So good.
Yeah, it fits the feeling of the game very well.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll also say like I gave Glow like kind of no direction on what the goblin should look like. And so like I draw goblins, or like whenever I think about drawing goblins, and I guess whenever I get to draw them or whenever I want to, like they are very Pathfinder-y. They're like big head, kind of big pointy little ears. They're like weird little guys.
Yeah.
But then Glow like came back to me with these like almost like pig-ish creatures, like pigs, a little bat,
ovular,
a little bat, like a little like, and all the different shapes of them, like they all have like different sizes, and like I'm like, oh my god, like these are just straight up beautiful little characters. And I had never really thought about goblins this way, with this shape language, or with this like with this kind of connection, like this reference. And it has like kind of fundamentally changed how I think about goblins. Like I like to see them as slightly like the way their noses are, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's what they are for me.
It kind of made me think of, I just love the amount of variety there are in goblins, but it made me think of one of my favorite kinds of goblins, which I can't send a picture here. I was gonna send a picture, but it's the goblins from the Spiderwick Chronicles books. Does anyone know those?
Oh yes, I do.
I love those goblins.
100% I do. Wow, that's a pull. I love those goblins.
I'm looking it up.
Maybe this picture.
They're like froggish.
Yeah,
right?
They're kind of like frog, and they've got
frog or toady.
Yeah, there's like hobgoblins too, which kind of look like bats.
Yes,
very cute.
Oh my god, I love these guys.
Oh, I love these.
Yeah, and they're
this is fantastic.
Little freaks.
Yeah, top gobs for me here. These are some of my top gobs.
Top 10 gobs of all time.
I'm actually like, and for me, I like a cute goblin. I'm not like a gross goblin guy. I actually like it when goblins are a little bit more like cutesy in nature. So like some real feral looking, scary, nasty goblins, I'm not actually that big a fan of. But I like it when they have like a real distinction to them. So the Spiderwick Chronicle ones, I'm like they're maybe too freaky for me, but I respect them so much that it loops back around. I'm like, that's a good
stylistic choice.
Yeah.
In the movie, they kind of made him a little grosser and meaner, which I didn't love, but it's the book illustrations are really very charming.
I saw one illustration in the book where he's got like a big scarf on.
Yeah.
And I feel like anytime a creature is wearing a big scarf, I'm like, that's a friend.
That's a friend.
The goblins are also our characters that we have commissioned the most art of. We just we have one piece of art from our last game, and I think we definitely did it again in this one, but from Goblin Errands, like all of them in a trench coat. And we definitely did that again in this game too. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you get the same artist or different artist for your?
We've done different ones, yeah.
Oh, I love that too. Okay, so everybody's kind of interpretations of goblins. And...
Yeah. Beautiful. I don't know. I don't know when we're gonna post them, but I think Tori just commissioned one that's like them as little gummies, like little like fruit snack looking things.
Yeah, because I think it's based off the magic item I made. For Space Goblins. It was basically, I forget what they're called. What are they called?
You made like a replicator of us, like of our goblins, that would create the little, you know, when you have the tiny little dinosaurs that you put in water and then they grow?
Yeah.
Like that, but us, and they could walk around. They were scary.
Love that. Oh, that's such a weird goblin toy.
Yeah.
It's weird as hell.
Oh, I love that.
So now we have those forever and ever.
While we talk, I'll see if I can find a picture of the other thing and put it in the chat or something. Anyway,
we love our goblins.
And while we're doing that, I will say, besides goblins, because we know your love for them,
and we talk about them all the time.
And we talk about them. Besides goblins, would you say that the games you design, do they have an artistic through line that you're conscious of? And like, if so, can you speak on that?
Yeah, like you said, you tend towards GM-less games, that kind of stuff. Is that the through line that you see?
Well, I've thought about this a lot because also, like, kind of going to an art school, I have, like, what is my artist statement constantly in my brain? Or, like, I do kind of think about, okay, like, who am I? Why do I make the things I do? And I think, like, really my through line, if I had to really think about it, this is where I've kind of put myself, is my through line is I never make the same thing twice. Is kind of like the thing. I really enjoy exploration of play in some form or fashion. So like all of my games are me exploring some aspect of play, which like is like Space Goblins, I think is the major one, is like the Lego pieces, like the play, almost like idle play. You are doing a role-playing game and you're like rotating around, and it's like, how does the actual game itself feel? Like I try to make you feel like goblins, or like try to get you into this mindset of like the structure of the game itself is like de-hierarchical and like very playful, and everything's kind of steeped in a like you're like playing with Legos and action figures and stuff like that kind of a vibe. And then like a bunch of other games of mine are like thinking about other aspects of play, like I'm trying to think of another one. The Fire Flickers Between You is like what I consider like my one sad game, because I was like, I don't actually like making sad games or really playing them too often. I fully respect and understand like negative emotion as a form of play, and I do like it in most scenarios, or like I'm not shy of it, but it's not the kind of art that I want to make, is kind of how it is. So it's not the type of art that I want to make, but I wanted to explore that. So like, how do I make a system that is sad, or like you know, explicitly kind of gets to you feeling heavy emotions? And Blood Being Badlands is another one of my games where like that type of play is entirely genre. Like I wanted to make something that was bombastic. It's cowboy vampires in a post-apocalypse, and that's just balls to the wall, like real bombastic explosions, like just real like thinking about all these different disparate genres kind of playing together. So that's like my artistic through line. I think my design through line is trying out different types of play. And I tend to like GM-less games. I tend to enjoy sci-fi a lot. Like sci-fi is my comfortable space. If I ever I'm more of a systems designer than anything. That's what I consider myself. I like fiddling with dice and cards, and like I like going like, ooh, the Fire Flickers Between You uses birthday candles, and I was like, I wanted to try like using fire as a mechanic. Really cool. So it's like I like to figure out weird things. I roll dice for fun and stuff like that, right? So space is always, sci-fi is always my go-to if I just need to like, oh, I have a dice system, let's try this out. Okay, we're on a space station. That's just what we know, right? Like that's kind of how it goes, right? So that also tends to be a thing. A Land Once Magic is one of my most recent games that came out, and it is a fantasy world builder, but it's like post fantasy, because that was also me explicitly being like, I want to explore fantasy as a genre, but I that is not my favorite genre, so I want to like push it more. I want to like see where you can take fantasy. How do you make it very unique to you? And so that's its like exploration of play is fantasy. What's up with that?
I
Like,
adore this art.
oh, thank you. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful game, beautiful art by John Gagney. Completely was the first. Similarly, I was like, this is the first choice I really wanted for this for that game. Not a personal friend of mine, just a person on Instagram whose art I really like.
That's awesome. I also see Elliot Davis on here as a producer. Didn't we just play one of his games?
We did. Rom-com Drama Bomb.
Oh, one of my favorite games of all time. Elliot Davis, best guy, my roommate.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We really liked Rom-com Drama Bomb.
We had a great time.
It was really fun.
Absolutely share that with him.
Literally played it like a couple days ago.
Yeah. Rom-com Drama Bomb, when Elliot and I were becoming friends, was like kind of one of the first, like he was in the midst of making it, and like we play tested it together. I love Rom-com Drama Bomb. Incredible game. Such a fun time. Yeah. And Elliot, and that's how A Land Once Magic got made, is because I was like, hey, I'm really bad at making games.
Show me. Yeah.
Show me. Or can you do it for me? Which is Space Goblins is like the proof of concept. I actually hated making that Kickstarter. Like that. I Kickstarted it. It was my first time ever doing that. I was like the producer on it. Like I was the boss of it. It was like, this is me trying to be a solo dev. And I failed miserably. Like I did not finish distribution in time. It took me a long time to wrangle anybody for myself. It took me a long time for me to figure it out. I hated hitting print. I stressed so much about shipping, and it delayed everything. And then pandemic happened also, so that just like really threw everything. And so Space Goblins taught me I cannot be my own boss. I am just a game designer. And then years later, I approached like Elliot Davis to be like, hey, do you want to publish one of my games? Do you want to try? I want to try this. Like, do you want to try publishing a game of mine? And then that's how that happened.
Wow.
That is really interesting. And I think that's very helpful to hear, as like I've designed like a couple little games, and I've considered, like, I'm into game design. That's something I'm interested in. And we like to ask like what indie game designers should consider leading up to the release of their game. So you've already talked about that a little bit, but are there any other big things that you want to give as advice for people delving into it?
I mean, yeah, like I guess like the reiteration of it, like generally my actual advice is like, it is tough. And I, not as a discouragement, but it's like I learned I'm not cut out for that role. But like there are really, what it is there are now like a lot more alternatives. Like crowdfunding is huge, and that is kind of where we all do it. Like for sure, that is the current landscape, is that crowdfunding is how you get your games made. But there is also like other avenues that are showing up more. In this regard, I always shout out like Plus One EXP's like Zine Month or Zine Club. Plus One EXP like is a publisher and distributor and content creator, I guess. Like they always do APs of a bunch of their stuff. They have a booth at every convention, and their explicit goal is to print and finish smaller games by fledgling creators.
That's awesome.
So like it's always worth like shooting them an email and being like, here's my pitch. And they take on a lot of projects, so like and they're really nice people. So it's like you either could get something in print through them and then like feel like, okay, cool, I have something and I don't need to worry about all that. Or like you can, and this is also my advice, not in like how do you run your Kickstarter or whatever, but it's like talk to like feel free to talk to people and get their advice. Like I guess like I'm lucky that like I was friends with a lot of like I'm friends with a lot of game designers who have figured it out. So like I had a lot of these conversations where I was like, I'm really fucking bad at this. I don't ever want to do a Space Goblins ever again. What can I do? And then like they can talk to me about options, or like I can ask, or I can like get them to publish it, publish my games. But like I also teach. I think I forgot to say that, but like I'm a games professor.
Cool.
And I tell my students this. I go like, a lot of professionals want to talk to you. The worst thing that happens is they go, I don't have time. But like if you're a fledgling designer who's trying to get their games published but don't really know how to run a Kickstarter, shoot an email to like somebody whose Kickstarter you backed, like who you thought their page was really good, or who like came in on time, like somebody who you think kind of has their shit together.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, and I mean that so genuinely.
Yeah.
Because they might not, but they pushed a project out, and like if you email them and say, I'm new at this, you will probably get good advice. So yeah, I don't have like advice on how to be your own boss.
Sure.
I have advice on
hey, find
find the advice,
where to go for help,
figure it out, and like where to go for help. Because that was really important to me.
That's actually, I feel like, a big thing that we've learned through this podcast is just how small the community is, but also how friendly it is. Like just everybody, like just us talking to you, we've mentioned how many different game designers, then like we've all been familiar with them, and like just reaching out is very, I don't know, people are very welcoming and excited to work with each other, we've found.
Yeah. And I want to be respectful of time, and this leads us very well into, do you have any game recommendations that you would like, or that you think would be a good fit for us to play? There are 5 of us, but we don't always all play, so we're open for whatever.
I do have a few Goblin games. There's one that like I remember the cover of, but for some reason I cannot remember the name, and I don't have it, or I couldn't find it. I'd have to dig. But I have 2 games. One is like a very old game that I really like, called Goblinville Gazette. And it has like a second, this is like an old printing of it, which is beautiful. Like a friend of mine like has this game also, but it's like a newer printing, and it's a slightly different cover for treatment. But the Goblinville Gazette is you play goblins, and it's like a beautiful kind of OSR-y system with great art, and it's that's just oh, there's a little goblin there. Oh my god, my blur. And it also has like monsters and mazes as like a little supplement. And then I really love Goblin Mail by Evelyn Moreau and Sophia Ramos and Luna P. Goblin Mail. Oh, a trash barge. That's what I wanted to do. One second, sorry. Sorry, I just remembered because Evelyn did the art for a trash barge. So Goblin Mail is really cute. It's kind of exactly what it sounds like. You are like goblin postal workers. Welcome to the post office. As the Goblin's labyrinth connected more and more spheres together, the need for efficient intersphere mail delivery grew. Goblins enthusiastically attempted to satisfy this new demand, and so postal offices sprouted all over the spheres. So you are goblins kind of running around, almost interdimensional kind of postal hopping.
Goblin Death Stranding.
So fun.
It's Goblin Death Stranding. It is a Strand type game. You're right.
We got Goblin Lethal Company.
RPG. STR.
Goblin Mail is really great. And then not a goblin game, and more an adventure, but you got a job on the Garbage Barge by Amanda Lee. Art by... Oh, is this art not by Evelyn? Am I wrong? I could have sworn it was. You Got a Job on the Garbage Barge is thematically similar to a Space Goblins.
Love that.
This is actually the thing that I wish I wanted to just run Space Goblins on the trash barge, on the garbage barge. I just think it's so funny. It's such a good little book, and it's full of fun stuff. And yeah, so those are 3 kind of things.
These all look great.
So
I like how it seems there's a thread in paper-based jobs in the Goblins, I guess, with a Gazette and a mail. I'm interested.
Oh, you're right. I guess so. Actually, yeah, what is the Goblinville? It's been a hot sec since I've read Goblinville Gazette. Yeah, you could be a bunch of different things.
Traveling to dangerous, fantastical places to find treasure and make rent. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
So true.
So
You
true.
got it.
It's a horror game.
Horror game. Yeah, it's deeply realistic and it's actually not fun at all. It's a harrowing experience.
Well, I think that brings us to about the. Or wait, do we have other? Oh yeah. The
Well,
last question.
well,
If you've got anything that you would like to plug, that you've got coming up, that you would like to say, that you've come out recently, or anything.
Actually, maybe I should have brought this up earlier, but Space Goblins is getting a second edition. Actually,
Yay!
I realized this maybe a little midway through, but I was in the middle of saying something, and I was like, "Oh, this is like a thing about the second edition that I want to change." But Space Goblins is getting a second edition, and speaking of like the idea of like collaborate with your friends, like. As game designers, this is a community of people, and like if there are people that are better at something than you or something, or like work with them and ask them to help you, or you help other people. It's being published by Dinoberry Press. Dinoberry Press made like Little Wolves, Gun and Slinger, Dino Car.
That is so familiar.
I have Dino Car.
Dino
I
Car is
have
one
Dino
of my
Car.
favorite games. I love Dino Car so much. Nevin and Jam are good friends of mine. Like we got into games very around the same time. So like this is like I was like, hey, much like kind of the thing with Glow, where I was like, oh, there's only one person I could really see doing the art for this off the top of my head. Like Dinoberry, I was like, Space Goblins is for you. Like I pitched to them, I said like, hey, which I need to do a reprint soon anyway, and I'm so bad at handling that. Would you want to second edition it? And then we are, and it's really fun. So that's going to come out sometime this year. So it's a little vague, but yeah,
that's exciting.
Very excited.
So fun.
It's called Space Goblins Again, with like an exclamation point and a question mark.
Awesome.
They're back.
They're back. Oh, it almost was. We went through like a bunch of different titles because I was like, I don't want it to be Space Goblins 2 is cute, but Space Goblins second edition is not the vibe.
No.
Yeah. Just skip straight to Space Goblins 3.
Oh my god. See, that's the thing. That is so in line. Truly, I almost did Son of Space Goblin, but that's not.
That's so funny.
Really
that's also like we were just going through like weird
Space Goblins Junior.
Yeah.
Really hard to do, but now it's Space Goblins again.
That's good.
Which we're having a lot of fun with. But yeah, so that's I think the thing. And then also you can find my games at vidityavoleti.itch.io. These are my own digital releases, and then A Land Once Magic, a post-fantasy conversational world builder published by More Blueberries, is also available for you to buy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's so exciting. Be sure to check all those games out, everybody listening, and especially I'm very much looking forward to that second edition of Space Goblins.
Again.
I would love to have Space Goblins again.
It was really fun. Like you sent me this email, and I was like, we didn't send out any promos. We're not looking for press yet. And it was just so wonderful. And I genuinely, I'm very excited to listen. And also, if you have any, you can keep this in as much as you want, but if you have any like notes, like I would love to know what could be improved. I mean, I have my list of stuff that I'm going to change, but if there's anything that you liked, anything that you thought was a little clunky, I love getting feedback.
Yeah, our format is read, play, and game. So we do have like a game discussion episode at the end of it. So like we definitely talked about, I mean, we were pretty satisfied, so I don't know that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, yeah.
Usually it's more in the realm of like, here's what we noticed about the mechanics and anything else, but we talk in depth about the mechanics. Like I think we talked a lot about just difficulty of roles and the vibe that gives to the game of like how you approach doing roles. So depending on what you're going for there, we talk about our experience. Yeah.
Very excited to hear that because a lot of numbers are being tweaked, and that's something that might get tweaked. Actually, it should be. That's a good. Oh yeah, let me think about that. Or or think about it as in, like I'd love to hear the discussion about it. So lovely.
Awesome. I'm just you don't have to acknowledge these. I'm just gonna send the pictures of the goblins that I found in the chat. I feel like I'm kind of showing you pictures of like my kids right now. So like
they
you don't
kind
have
of
to.
are.
Yeah, I was the
Children.
DM. So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
These
I'm
are
the
incredible.
second one from the top, and then Anish is the third one from the top. With the
These
bow.
are so adorable. Wow, I love this. Oh my god, yeah, goblin tail, no tail. That's like kind of a thing I think about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I flip-flop. Goblin have tail, goblin have no tail.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing some tail, some no tail.
Yeah.
I think this was based on like a pick crew we did of them. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we
When
played
we
the original
first
game like
made 'em.
6 years ago. So there's like a pick
I
crew
love
that like they kind of that just kind of stuck, I guess. We also
Goblin
we
clothes,
also-
no clothes.
we also found the original clothes and no clothes. We found the original art we did of them just on a
You
piece of
can't-
paper.
No.
Like when we first did it. I'm not gonna share that one, but it was just
We can't share that.
it's a little weird. Anyway.
I love that. Well, here's the thing. Goblins kind of in my brain exist in the Disney cartoon logic where it's like nobody's commenting on the fact that Donald Duck's not wearing pants.
Right.
Sure.
Right? Or Winnie the Pooh is just wearing a shirt for some reason.
Yeah.
And Goofy's got like a whole outfit on.
well, they're all wearing a trench coat here, so
that is
so
true. But one of them is just naked.
That is also true. That is true. That's our
Yeah.
brother Tofu. And,
I love it.
Good.
Oh, they're naked in the other one too. There's just a blanket.
that's just how he lives.
he kind of always had like a loincloth on at most, and just kind of it's out, right?
He's a big sweetie. That's his
Oh
thing.
my god! But that's what I love about. Genuinely, what I love about goblins is that it's like they can exist concurrently, and there's like logic, and you can choose whether or not goblins like care about it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like maybe some goblins are like, wearing clothes is fucking stupid. Why would
Yeah.
you do that to yourself? Well, other goblins are like, I just really like wearing a little, like, I found this fun. Like, this is a cute little
Yeah.
hat, and I'm gonna
Some
wear
goblins
it
have
now.
a little bow.
Ah, so cute. Gosh,
Oh.
No matter what, goblins are just little guys. That's the moral of the story, guys.
they're just little guys.
They're just little
Little
guys.
guys.
And even if they're big, they're little guys.
Yeah, they're big
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
guys, small little big guys, whatever.
I love that.
Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time. This has been delightful.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
And to our listeners, as always, we will see you at a different table. Whoa! That interview was awesome!
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Awesome. Now we can't edit that part out. Oh man. We love
That
doing these
interview-
little front and back things for you guys. We just love chatting with you.
We hope that you enjoy them too. Are you talking? Because we can't hear you.
No, I was just butting my lips saying front and back.
Okay. Anyway, the interview was great. Let's take maybe this part again.
Yes.
Hey guys. That interview okay. Welcome back. Well, not welcome back. You guys were here the whole time. Thank you so much for listening to this interview. We hope you had a great time listening, as great a time as we had shooting the participating.
Conquering.
You guys know to look out for more goblins in probably like a year.
Yes.
But until then, stay tuned. We've got some fun stuff coming up for you, some fun games.
And accidental little shout out to Patreon, honestly. We played Rom-Com Drama Bomb. That should be out by the time this episode comes out on our Patreon. And crazy coincidence, right?
Yeah, right.
That Viditya's roommate designed that game? That's wild.
I kind of wanted to mention it while we were interviewing him, but I didn't want to be like, let me take this moment to plug our Patreon.
Yeah.
But let me take...
So now
let's
we're
take
taking
this
the moment
moment
to plug our Patreon.
Be sure to check out Patreon, because that one was, we played that game that we mentioned earlier when we were talking to him. What was the, Elliot
It's a
Davis.
Valentine's Day
Drama bomb.
special. We are in love, but there's also bombs attached to us. It's a fun game.
And also, are they in love?
Ooh, question. There's drama.
It is a full read play game episode. Just it has the read, the play part, and the game part, all with a visual on video. And I know that's what you little freaks want.
We know that you've really been wanting the visual.
Right. Every single time our clip gets 1 billion views, 100 people are like, where can I watch this? Where can I see this whole thing? It's like, you can't. We give you these little crumbs so you'll come back.
But now you can. Now you can, but you have to give us money.
But you have to pay for it. Not that much.
It ain't for free, hon.
It ain't for free, but you're going to like it.
You're going to like it.
So, anyway, check out Romcom Drama Bomb, and you'll get that and access to all of our previous episodes, which are Emma and Anish playing a couple things. We do a newsletter. We do...
I did 2 solo RPGs.
Woo!
Solo RPGs. We've been slowly growing the amount of people that are in the... We actually played Romcom Drama Bomb with like more players than you're supposed to, but we still had a great time.
Yeah, it was great. It'll be great. I'm excited.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
And beyond that, I mean, you can find our Patreon in our link tree, which has links to all of our other stuff. All of our other stuff. It has our social media. Our social media stuff, which at this point, if you listen to the podcast, you have probably seen our social media clips.
Well, if you've listened to the podcast and you're not following the social media clips, I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand. I want to give you a clap on the back. That is true dedication.
Yeah,
I mean, appreciate that.
Our social media clips are like what 99% of the people who know who we are interact with. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm turning this into like a pity thing, but anyway, check out...
You're gonna love it.
It's crazy that nobody scrolled far enough in the link tree to see our OnlyFans link.
Yeah.
You guys,
So
99% of people stop scrolling before they get to the OnlyFans link.
99% of people stop scrolling to the OnlyFans. Like, it's so funny.
Click every single link on it. One of them will secretly lead to OnlyFans. I can't confirm or deny that.
Anish did a lot of market research as to what we needed for the podcast and found that we should be securing all of the names on every site. So we do have the Read Play Games OnlyFans. And it's up to you, our dear listeners, to decide if we use it for anything.
Hold on, off the record. Do we actually?
No.
Okay.
Which means we need to make it now if we're putting this in the episode.
This is like on My Brother and Me when like they mention a joke URL and then immediately Justin's like, I have to buy it. Otherwise people are gonna...
Yes.
We're just like My Brother and Me.
We're just like My Brother and Me. We're all brothers.
We're all brothers.
Wow.
And
with that...
Like the goblins.
The 2026 season comes to an end. This is the last episode of 2026.
Was there something else we have to say in this thing? Please rate us on podcast apps, whatever one you're using. We would love for you to give your thoughts. I mean, please. On the link tree, not only our socials, we also have Discord where you can join and chat with other delightful fans such as you. And
I stay on that phone.
Yeah, Emma and I will probably get back to you within 0.3 seconds because we have nothing else to do.
We love chatting. Well, I do have.
I have nothing else to do. So, hang out with me, please.
Thank you. See you next time.
On the next side of the table.
Bye.
Excellent.
We came.
We did what on the table?
Oh my God.
I think that was our best outro.
Yeah. That was 10 minutes.